I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Yankton Board of City Commissioners to order, please. Roll call, please.
Sarda. Here. Burdick. Here. Gross. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Knopf. Here. Mybom.
Here.
Moser.
Here.
Mayor Hoffman.
Here.
City Manager Nelson.
Here.
City Attorney Denver.
Here.
We have a quorum. We will continue with our business. Charlie, you may sit down. Thank you, though, for standing. I haven't had a standing ovation yet.
The judge is here.
You have before you the minutes of the regular meeting of February 12th and the special meeting of February 16th.
I move the minutes.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion in regards to the minutes? Roll call, please.
Burdick.
Here. Or aye.
Gross. Here. Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffman.
Aye. We have a quorum again. The next order of business is the city manager's report. Manager Nelson.
Honorable Mayor, members of the Commission, just a couple things to visit with you about in the back of the room, as well as going through, circulating here through the table and out in the audience, is a letter of support for the Yankton FPC and our desire as a community to make sure everybody in Washington knows how much of an important role that plays in our community. And that's been crafted by a number of organizations and leaders on Friday evening. Members from the Chamber and the Community Relations Board of the Federal Prison Camp and myself were able to meet with Christy Nome and some of her staff. So the suggestion from Nome's office was that we write a letter of community support and have as many folks sign it as possible. So I'm sure you'll get approached and see that letter. And if folks want to, I believe they can stop out at the Chamber to sign, correct? And they'll also be circulated throughout the community by a number of people. We'll be getting those to Christy Nome's office at the end of the week. So there'll be more to come on that. Also, we met today with Dive in Yankton regarding the aquatics facility, and they're getting closer to their fundraising, moving forward with their fundraising campaign. They would like to have a discussion with some of the commissioners regarding what level of financial support the city may be able to contribute towards the project. And I suggested that that might be a discussion for their fundraising committee to best have with some staff, a couple of key staff members, and then some representatives from the city commission, just as a mini task force. So not probably a lot of meetings, just a couple meetings. And I'm wondering if anyone is interested to serve on that, to discuss that with Dive in Yankton, and then possibly making a recommendation to the commission during budget season. Don't everybody volunteer at once?
I will.
Chris? Okay, gross. I was thinking 3 or 4 of you.
I can do that.
And Mosher, thank you. We will put a meeting together. We'll arrange it around your calendars. They're pretty flexible as a team, so that'll be coming forward for your calendar. Citywide cleanup. Cleanup is scheduled to begin April 2nd, and that will continue. We ask that residents not put their items on their curb before March 24th. Otherwise, if you do, those items may be removed at your expense. So we'll be talking more with the media coming forward about that. Sales tax, you all have heard. We had a great January sales tax, up 5.75%, really strong, so that's good news. Our PEG channel, I learned late this afternoon or this evening that we did have something major go wrong with our PEG channel as expected, but it wasn't any of the equipment that we thought was going to die. It was something else called the electronics mini something telenet switch, something like this, basically the on and off switch. So we have money budgeted to replace equipment. I think we should do that. And also Dwayne is aware of equipment that would be additional cost, but might allow us to play the meetings live on the PEG channel. So for those who aren't live streaming, they could watch them. So I think we should go ahead and replace the equipment, but then also look into that. We'd have to bring that piece of equipment forward to you for consideration. So just wanted to let the public know that our PEG channel isn't working. They're going to put something up on the screen saying we're experiencing technical difficulties. It might take us a while to get the equipment ordered and installed. We can't just replace that switch. It was no longer made as of the early 2000s, I guess, and that company is no longer existent. So it's time. So we limped it along as best we could. So appreciate people's patience on that. Lastly, I think we've all said it, but congratulations to Commissioner Knopf. I think you'll offer folks in Yankton good service, and we'll hate to see you leave this bench, and we hope we don't have to see you at your new bench, but I think I speak for everyone to say you'll represent the community in a fair and way, and so congratulations. That's all I have, unless you have questions of me.
Well, explain at the beginning, we talked about the, for the thousands of people listening right now, the FPC, in case anybody wants to call and be part of that letter writing campaign for the federal prison camp. Make that clear for the audience, I suppose, and then they can contact city manager's office. Yes,
of course, we have the letter if people want to sign. Chamber has the letter, so if they want to stop out at the visitor center, and there's also folks kind of circulating them about town. So please come and read through that. I'm sure by now the information's out on social media, etc. So sending an email, of course, to our representatives is helpful, but Representative Noem did say that the letter and the signatures is what they need at this point. So.
And I don't know if you said the timeline we're working with, but 5 p.m. Thursday we need to have them back to City Hall. Is that correct?
Yes. So Representative Noem would like them by the end of the week. So they're going to be delivered up to Sioux Falls on Friday morning. So for those of you who are circulating them, if you can get them to City Hall by Friday, close of business on Thursday, and if you'd like to come in and sign, if you haven't been presented with one, to come and do that sometime this week. 8 to 5 we're open, and Chamber, I believe, is the same, correct? Yes. So,
Amy, I would clarify on that too, just because I had questions as that came out. You don't have to be a Yankton resident, live inside the city limits. If you just have a concern about that facility, you can sign.
Correct. This isn't a petition. This is a letter of support, and that's a federal prison camp. So I guess if you're living in United States, you can certainly sign. A lot of folks from Nebraska kind of question, no, we don't live in town, can we sign? Yes. And so we'd like people to do so, and hopefully our media will help get the word out too that this is occurring, and we're trying to garner support. I think there's going to be enough people out and about with these letters that if you haven't seen one, then you haven't been paying attention, because I know the Community Relations Board is going out. Some of you all have them. Chamber has them. Fire Department has one, so we'll get the word out.
One more thing in regards to the citywide cleanup. So because we have so much more tonnage of recyclables and regular solid waste, probably anticipate, you think, or maybe
we're taking bets at City Hall about that maybe perhaps we won't have as much on the cleanup because the bins are big enough. I can speak from experience to throw away, vacuum cleaners and mops and things that fall out of your closet where they weren't before. So perhaps we'll have less, but that's our opportunity to really pare back. So we'll pick it up whether it's less or more or somewhere in between.
All right, thank you. Moving on, number 4 under routine business. This is the time and place for anybody from the public that has something not on the agenda published. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent items. Number 1 is a work session establishing March 26th, right here, 6 p.m. to discuss downtown events.
Second.
I don't know if we need a motion on that, do we?
No, it's consent. There is a third item under consent.
Yeah, well, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Number 2 is establishing a public hearing for the sale of alcoholic beverages, March 12th. I'll take a motion if you so choose.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Number 3 is basically an announcement that the fire department is naming a chaplain, Miss Jerry Weber. So I don't think we need to do anything with that, correct? Just announcement and get it on the minutes.
Correct.
And that's good. I think that'll work real well. Under old business, number 1, this is a time and place for a public hearing for the sale of alcoholic beverages, consideration of memorandum 18-29.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Gross. Aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Ferdig.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye, motion carried. Moving on to number 2 under old business is, this is a public hearing, sale of alcoholic beverages, consideration of memorandum 18-30.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Ferdig.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye, motion carried. Moving on to new business, Dave Mingo's Rising.
Hey,
This
Jake,
is a consideration.
can I interrupt you just for a
Okay,
moment?
go ahead.
I would like you to go back and do a motion and a vote for item number 3 on the consent agenda.
Okay.
This is like a supplement to the annual approval of the volunteers, so we do have to
Okay.
take official action
All
for the
right.
work comp coverage.
Number 3, under the consent, is there a motion? Naming the fire department chaplain. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anybody from the audience? Your roll call or voice?
consent
All in favor,
agenda.
say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Attorney Denner. Now we'll move on to the first item under new business, again, memorandum 18-31, a planning commission plat review.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Anybody want Dave to talk, or are everybody okay? Roll
I
call.
would like to hear from Dave. Sorry, it's too late. He already called roll call.
He has more opportunities here. Okay, roll call, please.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Ferdig.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye, motion carried. Number 2 is another plat review, consideration of memorandum 18-32, Westbrook.
So
Again,
moved.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Ferdig.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye, motion carried. Number 3 under new business is one more plat review, another plat review, consideration of memorandum 18-33.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Ferdig.
Aye.
Gross. Aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye. Motion carried. Number 4 under new business is another plat review, Planning Commission plat review memorandum 18-34 for applied engineering owner.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
So Dave, do we know much about this expansion at this point?
So as a part of the plat review, they're not required to submit any building plans or anything. It's, they have discussed in public that there will be an addition to the building going east, and this, what this plat does is it takes 3 lots and combines them into one, so they're not crossing a property line with their addition. The big things we had to look at in this instance were access and to Highway 50 because of the access management program, and they're requesting an additional access to Bill Baggs Road, which isn't a problem. So as far as square footage of the building, those plans have yet to be submitted in detail.
Any more questions? Anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Sarda.
Aye.
Burdick.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to number 5 under new business, another plat review, Planning Commission, Memorandum 18-35 and Resolution 18-12.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Burdick.
Aye.
Gross. Aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye, motion carried. Number 6 is establish a public hearing ordinance amendment for looking for introduction. Okay. Number 7 under new business, final project acceptance and payment for crushing concrete, memorandum 18-38.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Adam's itching to come forward. Anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Gross. Aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Burdick.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffner.
Aye, motion carried. Number 8 is, under new business, is a bid award for West City Limits Road, memorandum 18-41.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I got a question for Adam, if you'd be so kind. So with this bid award here, the dollar amount that we're talking about, can you go back to the conversations that we were having with the county, just to understand again what the arrangement was, considering that they owned a portion of this road, we owned a portion of this road. We've already done some work on our portion, but I'm just curious, the way that it was, I believe, according to statute, how it was laid out, the county owned a percent, but they're not going to pay that full percent. We worked out an arrangement with them, $1 million, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that percent that they actually owned, can you remind me what that was?
37.
Yeah, I was around that 37%.
Gotcha. And so the bid, the winning bid here came in lower than the estimates, which is good, but 37%. But considering that they're paying in $1 million, what are they actually paying towards then as a percentage? What does that actually equate to?
I don't have that figure right offhand. You got to remember that this is the construction estimate or the construction cost. There was the project that was done in 2017, so that'll need to be added in. And there's money in there for the railroad crossing replacement project as well. So this isn't a total sum of what's going to go on out there. Plus, we're looking at pavement markings as well. That is not a part of this contract, so
Okay.
this is not the total cost.
There are also engineering and administrative costs
Yes.
that are not reflected in this.
And part of the arrangement was that we're, taking over the maintenance of the road in perpetuity. So I don't know if you put a cost on that, but since we've reached that agreement, we've been, doing the plowing and taking care of mowing and things like that, just because we knew that we were going to be moving forward here in the spring.
I think there's also, just the project's gonna be done at city specs, not county specs, which are two different, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, they were a little different when we discussed them in the meetings.
Any more questions?
So Adam, is this gonna take a full construction season, or how long do you think it'll take?
I would imagine it'll take the full construction season. It's just depends on how aggressive the contractor is.
Just shift the complaints from the east side of town to the west, right?
Yeah.
All right, anybody from the audience? Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Aye.
Knopf.
Aye.
Mybom. Aye. Moser.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Ferdy.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Mayor Hoffman.
Aye, motion carried. The last item on our new business is establish a public hearing for ordinance process to cancel or postpone city commission meetings. Looking for an introduction? All right, at this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn into zoning board of adjustment.
So, second.
I'd like to call this meeting of the zoning board of adjustments to order. Roll call, please.
Sarda. Here. Ferdy.
Here.
Gross. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Knopf.
Here.
Mybom.
Here.
Moser.
Here.
Mayor Hoffman.
Here.
City Manager Nelson.
Here.
City Attorney Denner.
Here.
We have a quorum, so we'll continue in the zoning board of adjustments. I am looking for an introduction for the first reading consideration memorandum 18-37.
Introduce.
Okay, at this time, I'd ask for adjournment to reconvene to the Board of City Commissioners.
We have to approve the minutes from the last zoning board.
Okay, we'll back up a little bit. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the last zoning board of adjustment meeting, please.
So moved.
Second.
Need a roll call now? Nope. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. I'll ask for adjournment and reconvene as the Board of City Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
We need a roll, I think we need a roll call on that one.
We're
No.
roll calling now. Roll call for back in business. I know, that's okay. I'm getting mixed up too. Roll call, please.
I'm just reading the agenda.
Wait till Commissioner Moser gets all of this.
Okay, we're after a roll call to, what?
We're adjourning. Or-
Move to adjourn.
We adjourned.
Second.
Anybody from the audience? Motion to adjourn, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Need like a